mean, it's amazing. We're just already, the conversation is just expanding, and it's so remarkable to be part of it. And really, I just feel like the hostess, that's the purpose that I serve, especially without my husband here. Because we need to get rid of it, right? I mean, that we haven't, that somehow it's this insidious germ that we just need to kind of once and for all stamp out. I mean, I was saying these amazing people earlier, they're in middle school and high school. School is hard enough. That they are fielding these issues by the hour at school. It's, they have enough on their plate. They shouldn't have to be dealing with this.
And lastly, respect. What does it mean to you? How do you define it?
Seeing the same in another as in yourself. We're all the same.
It's a massive, massive honor. I think you always feel a little bit undeserving, for things like this. But I feel very, honored to be in this position and to accept this award tonight. It's nice. It really begins with the person, and I feel like that sometimes bullies don't even realize they're bullying. So I feel like that the word needs to be broadened, and it's not so much that kid in the playground type thing. It's the tweets, if you're not building somebody up, if you're not encouraging somebody, then you're putting them down. In any type of way, that's this form of bullying. And I feel like that if we all kind of find that sort of distinguish those lines, so that that line being too blurred, I think we'll begin to sort of break the chain. Because it's sort of like a chain effect. And I think that, it always begins with yourself and with you. And also, hearing things, and you can't always control what happens outside of you. But you can always control, the way you perceive things, the way you take things, and, the way you filter them. And so, it's always difficult to say stop doing something to somebody. But you can always control and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna let that be I'm gonna be transparent and let that pass through me instead of holding on to that. So I don't know, it's an important thing for me.
I can only say that as I've gotten older and as I've had more and more experiences, I've only ever understood that being impervious to your elements is sometimes a good thing. And it's not to say that you should be without feeling or without care, but most of the time, whatever you're worried about isn't worrisome. And really the only person who you should take stock in is yourself and the people who you love. That's the only opinions that should matter. So I would say that in my life, I have unfortunately been someone who has been mean to people, and I have had people be mean to me. I think probably that's the human condition. And I will say that both feel awful, but there's the right side to be on, and that's really letting people know that when they are mean, they go without. They don't end up being very, very well supported. They sort of end up alone.
Well, I think it's getting worse and worse with social media. It's something that terrifies me, being a new mother, what kind of world my son is going to be entering. And there's no way to control it. And so I think it's about the kids really learning about respect for each other, and that, just because something is on social media doesn't mean it doesn't affect somebody. There's a little bit of a removal because it feels like it's out there in the world.
And, it is the respect award. So to you, what is respect?
Accepting somebody for who they are.
I think respect is about accepting people's differences and finding room for everybody. And I think we need to start at a very young age and get that language right. And this organization is extremely powerful and at the forefront of policy and these school organizations and all these days, not name calling and all that.
Well, I've worked with the LGBTQ community for forever. It's not even worked with them. These are my friends, these are my people, these are my peers. It's just natural.
And expressive.
Well, the reality is people are stupid, okay? And a lot of times people are mean and stupid, and that's a dangerous combination, and I think we're better than that as people, and I think we can do better.